Hey folks, this is Gray here, and we're here with another Prepper Pantry haul. So if you watched any of my Prepper Pantry hauls videos, you know that I go a little bit different than some of the other folks out there. So when I do my Prepper Pantry hauls, I not only go over the food, but I explain why I picked certain things up and kind of go a little bit in more detail. So sometimes these haul videos will go a little bit longer outside of saying, hey, I bought this food, kudos to Gray, right? I just want to give you guys context and why I pick some of the things that I pick. So hopefully some of you folks out there will truly enjoy that aspect of my videos. Another reason I like to do these videos is because I think everyone out there, some of the key components to prepping is, food, water, medical supplies, and the list goes on. I do have a playlist that I have that I can link up here or link somewhere in regards to all the Prepper Pantry hauls that I've done, and also food storage ideas, as well as long-term food storage and stuff like that, because some of the stuff here will be for long-term, some of it will be for the working pantry. And I've had other folks ask me, Gray, do you buy anything else outside of like mostly canned goods or dry goods in general? So in this clip that you're looking at here, this is some of the stuff that we also pick up that goes into the regular pantry or the freezer, in the aspect of this is what the family likes. So it doesn't make it to this part of the Prepper Pantry haul in regards to what I'm doing. Also, I've had a lot of folks ask me, why I do some of the things I do, and I'm just a prepper. I'm always worried about what could happen. As Murphy's Law states, if it can happen, it will happen. Hopefully I quoted that correctly. Also, you'll see things that'll pop up, like stuff like this, that gives you a warning that things are not as good as it could be in our country. So why not stock up when you can? Some people may ask, how did you do all this and why did you do all this? Well, I took my income tax and I put it into a Prepper Pantry haul category to use that money to buy supplies, stuff like food, water, medicines, and other things that we possibly need. This is one of them. Now, where did I shop? I shopped at multiple different places. This is the dollar store. This was Winn-Dixie. Some stuff from Aldi's. Some stuff from Gordon Food Services, which is like your BJ's or your Costco's or your Sam's and so on and so forth, as well as ordering directly from Keystone. I've had a lot of people, when I did my 5 top canned meats, they were asking me a lot about Keystone and where can you get it at. I ordered directly through Keystone itself, and here's why. So in this video, this kind of clip that you're looking at right now, I'm opening up some boxes and stuff like that that I got from Keystone. I ordered 2 cases, one of beef and one of chicken, ground beef specifically. And once you open these boxes, I kind of wanted to show you what you get inside of it. You get this kind of like little recipe ideas and whatnot, as well as a little bit of their catalog and stuff like that. But also pay attention to this letter right here. As you can see in this letter, it states that if for some reason you get a dented can or something's wrong with the can that you got from Keystone directly, they will either reimburse you for that money or replace the can. So if you have a dented can or anything like that, they will take care of that. That's hence why I go directly through Keystone and not Amazon. Amazon's usually more costly, as well as you get a lot of dented products from Amazon, especially kind of old stock. So I kind of like to focus in on that. Now, also in the link in the description will also account for the USDA's talking about how canned goods can last pretty much indefinitely depending on the condition that you store them in, as well as the condition and integrity of the can. I like to put chapters in these videos, so if someone wants to skip past certain parts of the video, they can, because some people may just want to see the pantry haul outside of me just discussing this content. Outside of that, I think I probably talked long enough. Let's get into what I got and where I got it and why I got it, so that if you guys are interested in anything that you see here, you have some sort of direction to go in or give you some ideas in regards to stocking your pantry. Just don't forget, folks, it's not about me. It's about you, and as well as the people that we care and love that are in our family. So just don't prep for yourself. Make sure you prep for everyone in the family, being if they have some allergies or gluten allergies or this or that, or maybe they don't like to eat certain foods. Just make sure that you account for those folks as well, the elderly and so on and so forth, the kids. You got to have some stuff like, you know, things that are just not as healthy for you. In the aspect of it makes the kids happy, and in a disaster situation, it's just going to be beneficial to those kids, especially the younger folks, to kind of give them that bit of normalcy while you're going through that kind of SHTF or disaster scenario or situation that happens to arise that you're prepping for. All right, so enough of the jibber jabber, as I always like to say, because I know someone down in the comments say you talk too much, but it is what it is, man. This is just me and my personality. It's my channel. I'm going to do what I have to do in the way I do it. All right, so now for the fun part that everybody truly enjoys is kind of going through the haul and all the different foods we got and why I got some of the stuff and so on and so forth. What we're going to do is we'll probably start right over here and work our way that way. There's a lot and there's not a lot, if that makes any sense. And some people are probably really curious about why I have so many of these, and I'll explain. But let's kind of start here. Sometimes I find things in stores that kind of like intrigue me and I want to try them out, hence why I only get a couple of them. So here's one of those things. There's a couple of different variations. This one is a hollandaise sauce and it's in a powder form. We like, you know, doing the Benedict style eggs and that kind of stuff like that. So it's one of the things that we like to do. So we picked that out. Again, this is from Gordon's. And I'm telling you, the prices at this store, if everybody had one, it'd be great in the aspect if they did have that opportunity to choose something like this. And my apologies about the focusing on this camera. Anyways, let's move on to why I got this one. And this one is because my daughter loves Alfredo sauce. So we got a powdered Alfredo sauce as well, just because, you know, it's something that stores pretty long time. Even though the jarred Alfredo sauce does pretty good, we wanted to give this a try just because in a powder form, we feel that we can get a lot more longevity out of something like this. And if it's good enough, they have larger sizes of this stuff as well. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next. All right, so we're going to look at spices. I prefer to buy all my spices in a large format, especially the spices that we use to cook, because what's the sense in having all this food stored, especially even the huge buckets of food? Why have all that food stored if it's just bland? So you need to make sure that you stock spices, and buying them in the bulk size is going to be so much cheaper. These we also got from Gordon Food Supply. Or services, or service. It's GFS is what I call it. But anyways, lemon pepper seasoning. We got some more ground cinnamon. Cinnamon not only is good for baking and whatnot, but we also use it for medicinal purposes as well. So we always like to keep cinnamon on stock. What else do we got here? My wife saw this one. She said she's never saw it in bulk form, so she decided to get the celery seeds. She said she likes to use it for a lot of different things and roast and whatnot, so she picked that up as well. And then, being that, you know, Easter's coming around the corner, and we always seem to run out of certain spices, and this was one of them when we saw the pumpkin spice there. So we decided to pick up this as well in the large format, just because if you have the smaller things in your pantry or in your spice rack, you can just keep on filling from here. And why not have an abundance of that? Because this was like $9 versus spending $3 to $5 for a small thing at your normal grocery store. All right, so next up on the list is I did pick up a couple more of these Brookdale hams. A lot of folks seem to like these hams. They store a long time. We picked up 4 more of those. I think that brings us up to just about a case of these. I think we have about 24 in total now of the Brookdale hams. These I got from Aldi's. Aldi's has a pretty good sale, and they taste pretty good. I didn't know at first when I got these if I was going to like them, but I really do. The family likes them as well, and they definitely come in handy. All right, moving on to our next one. These for some reason always come in handy. Again, we buy it in bulk to add to our preps in regards to the smaller containers. We have a large thing of baking soda as well as baking powder. They both have multiple purposes, of course, specifically the baking soda itself. It just truly comes in handy. And as well with baking powder, if you remember during the crisis that happened in 2020, baking powder and stuff like that was very hard to find, just like yeast and products like that. So why not have an abundance in case something like that comes out of nowhere again, and make sure that you have enough to keep things going. especially if you're stuck at home in a shelter in place or whatever happens to happen, because we are in an election year and who knows what possibly could happen. There's a lot of chatter online, on YouTube videos, on a lot of social media platforms, as well as the news, and some of that propaganda material that's out there is slowly starting to warn people that things might get out of control. All right, moving on to our pastas. This seems to be the most affordable way for me to get pasta. Now I'm trying to see if I can bring this down here. I think this is a 5-pounder or a 10-pounder. There we go. It's a 10-pound bag of spaghetti. And some people, you know, what does pasta do? Pasta is a carb. Pasta, you know, some people who are diabetics will not stock stuff like this, but in a situation where folks are starving, in a true SHTF scenario, stuff like this is going to be very important. Some folks will say, I don't need 10 pounds of pasta. Well, technically you do. And the reason I say do this is because out of this 10 pounds, I'm going to break this down. And if you guys want to see a video of that, I've done other videos and I'll put that up on some of the videos of my, you know, long-term food storage methods and how to store pastas and rices and pancake powders and flour, and the list goes on, beans and yada, yada, yada. But I will break this huge bag down and break it down into 1 pound so that if we want to use it for specific serving sizes, we can. But I think this was $12.99 for 10 pounds of pasta. Now compare that to your average grocery store price. To me, that is a huge savings. Let me move this one down, and we get a couple of different versions of pastas. This is a 5-pound bow tie pasta. I think this one was only like $7.99 for this here. Roughly, I know it was under 10 bucks. But again, we'll take those 5 pounds, break them down into 1 pound servings, because these bags are kind of flimsy. And then one of my daughter's favorites is the rigatoni. She likes to come up with her own creations in regards to that. And again, that is another 5-pound bag. And again, for roughly under 10 bucks. Again, like I said, if you break these things down, if you look at the pasta boxes, for instance, as a matter of fact, it's too far away. I can't get to it. I was going to grab some of the other pastas that I actually have on the shelf in rotation at the moment, but they're like 1 to 2 pounds, and they just kind of go really quickly. And this stuff, if you buy in bulk, you can break it down, save a ton of money on that stuff, and if stored properly, you can have this stuff last pretty much almost indefinitely. All right, moving to everyone's favorite. Some people's favorites and not some people's favorites is Spam. As I've told you folks, my daughter goes through a can of Spam probably a week. It's not the healthiest stuff, but she is at that age where she wants to consume this on a consistent basis she can. So I always have to keep Spam stocked up. Now, Spam can be expensive, but when you find it on sale, I like to grab a can of Spam. Now, I also like, believe it or not, out of all places, is the Great Value brand. It's a lot cheaper. It's the original recipe of the Spam. I think Rudy over at Alaska Prepper did a video on that, and you could save a ton of money. The original recipe, to me, this does taste better, and it's a lot cheaper. So I wanted to grab a couple of those to show you that there is a difference in price, almost even up to $1 to $1.50 in difference at times, depending on which one's on sale. And this one will be on sale as well. And then you're saving a couple of bucks if you're someone who likes to stock up on luncheon meat, aka Spam. All right, so moving on to the Dollar Tree's Modern Pantry Whole Milk. They do have other versions. They have chocolate milk, they have almond milk, and some other stuff out there for those folks that want some shelf-stable milk. I've talked to a few folks online, as well as I got a lot of information from you guys via in the comment section, hence why I like to read comments and have you guys interact with not only myself, but with each other. Sharing information with other community members is very beneficial to everyone that's in the Grey community, as well as new folks that come to the chat and wondering why we pick some of the things that we pick. This is self-stable milk. I did buy, I'm trying to look here right now. I think I'm up to 35-ish things of these, because last time I only bought 18, and everyone in the house evidently loves this stuff. I know, I think Yarn Prepper said she doesn't like it, and a couple other folks there, but that's why you usually buy 1 or 2, try them out and see if you like it. If you don't like it, then of course you would choose something else. But here in our household, this doesn't hang around very long, so I'm having to double stock now. So I'm trying to have a 6-month supply minimum. I'd like to get up to a year of shelf-stable milk, because milk can be used for baking, for drinking, and the list goes on. It's just something that if you even had to use it for other things, you could, just because I don't know, I think having a whole milk with all the vitamins and, you know, vitamin D and whatnot is something that folks could use in a situation, because milk that you buy at the store, unless you have access to a farm where you're getting non-processed milk, that's awesome, but I don't have that opportunity at the moment. I am searching for one. But so I buy this shelf-stable milk, and lo and behold, it's a hit here at the Grey family home. So that's kind of why you see so much of it, just because, and funny enough, folks, you can order this online through the Dollar General, or Dollar Tree, sorry. And it takes about a couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, from what I've noticed, if you want to buy a case of it without having to go to search the stores. Because basically I had to go to 4 Dollar Trees to get this much because I had a specific number in my head. And unfortunately, yes, I was that guy to kind of clean them out. And I'm probably going to get some slack for that. All right, so in a previous video, someone had asked me about where I got the cocoa powder, which is another one of those things that can last almost indefinitely if stored properly. We use this a lot for baking. We turn it into hot cocoa and chocolate, and the list goes on. You can store chocolate and other things like it, but there are some fats in chocolate, and there could be some issues with that in regards to long-term food storage. Plus, if the temperatures get out of control, chocolate melts. So if you know how to make your own chocolate, you can. So someone asked me, that was the old label. This is the new label. Roughly the same price. It's not super cheap. The only place I could find this on is Amazon, and a couple places. Someone said Whole Foods has it as well. I just like it because it's an organic base. It doesn't have nothing in it but cocoa. And just to kind of show you the label there, you can see the ingredients of what's in there. And that's basically just the basics of it. It is from the Netherlands, aka France. And it's good stuff, folks. We've been using it for several years now, and this is the best that we have found. All right, so here we got some crackers. We found those, and we had a bit of a conversation yesterday when we were at Gordon's in regards to which crackers are the best. And my wife and my daughter trumped me because I was looking at the Ritz. They liked this version better, and it was at a better price for these crackers. Some people may not think crackers is an emergency food, but folks, if you go back into the World War II days and you look at hardtack and stuff like that, to me, it's a cracker type base. So if you vacuum seal these properly and store them properly, of course, in a cool, dark, dry place, they can last quite some time. But these things probably won't last as long as that, because sometimes when we sit down as a family and we want a little bit of a snack, you know, we'll take some meats and stuff like that that we have in the fridge and add to these crackers, as well as the holidays when we like to make like little platters and stuff like that. And this is just a more affordable way to do that. So anyways, yep, there's some crackers for you. All right, so here we go with some Wild Planet. In my canned meat video that I did not too long ago, I talked about this company as well as the salmon. And come to find out, they had mackerel as well. And the cheapest way to buy it was buying a case of it. Anyway, so kind of give you an idea of this mackerel. As you can see, there's basically, I look for foods that have the less garbage in it that I possibly can, especially in canned food realm of things, you know what I mean? Because we want to eat somewhat healthy, even though some stuff is not going to be as healthy as others, as if you're going out there and catching your own mackerel. But in a true disaster scenario, how is that going to be applicable I mean, some people can. I don't want to go too deep into it, but just folks, just think about marauders and the violence and the chaos ensuing when something like that happens. So having stuff like this, to me, is truly beneficial. Omega-3s, has also good for you, the protein and whatnot. But as you can see here, it kind of gives you an idea of where it comes from and all that jazz. See if I can flip it over and see if I can bring it the label for you guys, so that if you guys wanted to take a look at that. I know I'm a label reader, and a lot of you other folks are as well. Sea salt, mackerel. I'm trying to think of anything else on here. I think this is packaged in water, if I recall correctly. But yeah, I like mackerel. I like to make them into like mackerel patties and adding them to other things. We do a mackerel casserole, funny enough. Some people do tuna casserole, but I just love the taste of mackerel specifically. But the only place I could find this at, again, is mostly on Amazon, which I haven't too much issues with. You can save some money if you do the subscribe and save stuff. But some places say that you can find it. Some of the other markets, I just haven't found it anywhere here local. All right, moving on to the Keystone. I was running extremely low, and since I had the finances to restock my Keystone, I did. As you can see, I'm a big fan of the Keystone. I do show this a lot. Just because the Keystone meats are good. But as you can see, the chicken is down to 1 can. That is my daughter's favorite, and she consumes a lot of things out of this pantry. And I've been meaning to get a bunch. I need to get probably 3 or 4 more cases of that. So we grabbed the 2 most popular ones that we use here in the house, which is the ground beef and the chicken. We bought 2 cases of it, 24 in a case. It just seems to be the more cost-effective way to do it. If you compare Keystone prices on their website versus Walmart versus Amazon and a lot of other places, again, they don't have for some reason their prices can fluctuate a lot more, and you seem to get a better deal and better customer service when you go directly through Keystone, as I was talking about earlier in regards to dealing directly with them. So if you get a chance, go to Keystone's website. I think they're out of Lima, Ohio, if I recall correctly. Maybe if you live in that area, you can actually go directly to them. But it usually takes me about 7 days to get this from them to my home. And again, like I said, they have that guarantee. If they do ship a dented can or anything of that nature, they will resolve it by either giving you a refund or replacing the can that's found dented. All right, so now this stuff here, everybody knows I'm a Southern boy, and we love grits here in this household. And a lot of folks said, Grey, instead of buying the grits you're buying, you need to get Bob's Red Mill grits. And folks, thank you so much for suggesting this. Hence why I always ask if you have any ideas, put them down in the comments. These are absolutely phenomenal. They also, I've did some research, and storing these is going to last me quite some time. I got a couple more cases on the way. They come in a box of 4 when you order it. But man, this is awesome. I really prefer these grits over anything so far that I've tasted. And I've been eating grits since I was just a toddler. If you like grits, this is definitely the way to go. Thank you guys again so much for finding me more of a mom and pop kind of business that sells a quality product. But yes, got me some organic yellow corn polenta grits. I'm so happy that I came across this. Thank you guys. Moving on to the last couple of things. These were some of my wife's choices because she likes to make soups, and anything in a powder format we know that we can store. We can either jar it, vacuum seal it. There's a lot of different things that we can do, but she wanted this cream soup base so that she can make specific types of soups. And we saw this at Gordon's, and so we picked it up. It's pretty decent price as well. I wish I had the pricing for you. I don't. I apologize. But they do have a website. I think it's GordonFoodService.com, or just type in Gordon Food Service and kind of go on their website, and it does put their prices on there, what they have in stock, their locations, and as far as I know, they also have a delivery service if you're kind of a person that's stuck at home and can't get out much. But they do have a local delivery service to where their stores are at, so you might want to check that out. And last but not least, sometimes we prefer using a different type of batter. So this is what they call a tempura mix batter. If you've ever had anything tempura, shrimp, chicken, the kid loves to do tempura Oreos. But it's a lot lighter than some of your other batters out there. And so we buy this in mass anytime we can, and Gordon has the best price on it, of course. So that is just giving you guys an option of why we choose to go to Gordon's a lot, because they're more of a, like I said, restaurant supply, local mom and pop business supply. So you're going to find things at a cheaper price point than you would at other places. But we prefer the tempura because it's a light kind of a batter that you can use on fish. You can pretty much use it. We even do tempura out of the garden when we do our eggplants, when we do other, I'm trying to think, there's several other things, our okra. You got to try this out if you ever get a chance. It's called the tempura batter mix, or just if you find a tempura batter mix that works for you. It's just very easy to put together, and it just makes the things just taste that much more better. So folks, that's going to complete everything on the table, I think. I'm pretty sure we went over everything. If you have any questions, or if I missed anything, or anything that you want to add to this video, please put that down in the comments. I can't wait to kind of go through them, and hopefully someone will drop another thing that says, hey, Grey, this is something I buy. You should search for it. It's really good, and it stores well. That's what I'm always looking for, because that was a viewer suggestion. That was a viewer suggestion. So you see, I do pay attention to you folks, and I'm very happy that I do. Other than that, let's wrap it up with me. All right, so that kind of gives you an idea of why I got some of the stuff I got, some of the stores that I shopped at, some of the things that I picked up, and hopefully that gave you guys some ideas in regards to stocking your prepper pantry, hence why I like to do these videos. If you got any value out of this video, I'd truly appreciate it if you could hit that thumbs up button, share it out, drop a comment. Let me know some of the things that you guys prep in your pantries, things that you liked or disliked, and the reasons why. Because I like to get a little bit more detail when someone says, I really don't like Spam, or I really don't like canned ham, or this or that. I like to kind of get that feedback from you guys, just because I'm trying to gauge on what things that I could possibly switch around, because this over here was part of a viewer that said, hey, or a couple viewers said, I know a better option for grits, you should check it out. And I did, and I love it. So thank you guys so much for that. That's why I love to read the comments. I try to answer all of them as best as I possibly can. And here's my question to you as well, to the viewers, and you can always add this down in the comments as well. Outside of pantry haul videos, have you guys ever wanted to see haul videos in regards to, let's say, specific equipment? Let's say hauls that I do in regards to medical pantry hauls, or medical supplies in general, or just stuff like what I do for prepping for hurricanes in regards to hauls for hurricanes, and things that I add and fill in holes, you know, batteries and tape and plastic bags, and the list goes on. I thought about doing stuff like that because I shop at a lot of different places and hardware stores and discount stores to find things that are appropriate for myself and my family in regards to emergency preparedness. Other than that, folks, remember, you are not alone. This is GreyMan. I'm out. I'll see you guys in a rebound. God bless every single one of you amazing folks out there, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video.